Hello, my fabulous friend. This is Desiree Mangendog here. Thank you so much for joining me on this Hot Mess to Fabulous webinar. I am an acupuncturist, herbalist, and an expert with essential oils, specifically with the emotional side of essential oils. And today I'm going to teach you how to use basic essential oils like lemon and wild orange and tea tree oil to help you change your emotional state in an instant. So if you are tired of feeling exhausted and overwhelmed and frazzled and you would like to feel more peace and calm and focus, then this is the right webinar for you. We are going to equip you with so many tools. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and start the screen share. Give me one moment. Oh, it's right here. Share screen. There we go. All right, so let's go ahead and pull up this beautiful PowerPoint that my friend made. You enter full screen. All right. So you should see me in the corner, and here we go. Let's get going. So this is Hot Mess to Fabulous. So ladies, let's get real, and this is for gentlemen too, but I assume there are many ladies here. Are you tired of feeling all of these things? Feeling scattered, pulled in so many different directions that it's hard to stay on task on what is most important? Do you feel overwhelmed with the amount of responsibilities that just get stacked on you more and more and more? Are you emotionally exhausted? You're tapped out, you're drained. You have times in your life where you just don't have anything more to give. You don't have anything more to offer, and you just want to rest or even run away from all that's going on in your life. Do you feel like you're dragging, that simple tasks take so much effort and energy, such as like cleaning up a living room space? I go through that. I'm a mom of two, so sometimes I'll look at my living room and I'm like, oh my goodness, this is too much, even though it would only really take me about 5 to 10 minutes to get everything cleaned up, right? If you feel so stressed out and you don't have enough time to get everything done that you need to in a single day. And are you dreading the next morning to face all of this crazy all over again, right? So if that's you, honey, I hear you. I go through the same things. So do you feel that you are destined for greatness? You know that you are destined for more, that you could create more, that you could accomplish more, that you could show up more as a friend, as a spouse, as a mother, right? As a sister, like as a brother, like that you can really show up in a much bigger way than you currently are. But you're feeling so stuck and bogged down and you don't know how to actually move forward. And you wonder, how in the world do I even make my dreams and my goals a reality? Sometimes, you know, we have beautiful goals, but it can feel so far away and almost impossible to accomplish. Now, what if I showed you how to go from this sour apple to this sweet apple? This is such a darling picture. My friend put this together for me. Today, this is what you're going to learn, hon. You are going to learn how to use these essential oils to consistently feel fabulous and effortlessly manifest your dreams. Because manifesting our dreams should not take so much work. Yes, there is our part to play, and yes, there are steps that we have to be active in. However, things should fall into place pretty easily, okay? And that's all the concept of living in rhythm and flow. And we'll touch on that a little bit later. So with what we have discussed so far, does this resonate with you? Do you go through any of this? Because I went through so much of this, and I still have moments where I go through it, but you know what? I can bounce back very quickly because I have the tools to do so. So I am Desiree Mangendog, former hot, very hot mess. So I'll just briefly share with you my background, and then we're going to dive into all of these beautiful essential oils on how to deal with all the stuff we discussed in the beginning of this webinar. So I am a licensed acupuncturist and herbalist. I started Chinese medicine at the age of 19, so I've been in practice for a while. And the essential oils came into my life about 4.5 years ago. And I honestly knew nothing about essential oils. And about 2.5 years ago, I've been using oils for 4.5 years, but 2.5 years ago, I really started to dive into the essential oils more seriously, rather than just like using them only to, boost my immune system or help me with sleep, which all is very important. But then I started to look at its effects on our emotions. And as I explored and used my experience as an acupuncturist and herbalist, and I used to construct Chinese herbal formulas, so I took that knowledge and experience and married that with the essential oils. And so I've constructed blends using, on average 8 to 12 different essential oils for very specific things. And you can find a lot of my blends in my book, I Am Fabulous, Blends for Emotional Wellbeing. You can find that book at aromatools.com, oillife.com, also on amazon.com too. So I have become an expert in using essential oils for emotional well-being. And I also teach people where to apply the essential oils along meridians and along chakras, where you get the most energy movement and the most transformation and benefit. So I'm using these beautiful essential oils now as like my needles. It's a very unique approach to using essential oils. So let's go ahead and dive in and show you how we do this. So why are we focusing on emotions? So this is a quote from Tony Robbins. I absolutely love this quote. The quality of your life is in direct proportion to the quality of the emotions you are experiencing on a daily basis. Our emotions greatly color our life. It affects our behaviors, which then affects our results. If you feel this sense of hopelessness and you are consumed by fear about something, your forward action is limited. You are in a contracted space when you are consumed by fear. When you are feeling hopelessness and despair, you're not going to feel inspired or motivated to create beautiful projects. So if you were to experience higher quality emotions such as gratitude, correct, and joy and peace and awe and wonder and inspiration and unconditional love, when you experience these kinds of emotions more times than not, then you will take different actions day to day. And as a result, you will have different results and circumstances that are coloring your life. So all of our current circumstances that we have, we play a huge part in creating that. So if you're not happy with your current state in your life, whether it's in your career, whether it's in your relationships, right, whether it's in your spiritual life, if you are not happy with them, you do have the ability to change it. You have the power to change all of that. And sometimes it feels impossible to try to change how we view things and to change how we feel. Sometimes we can get very cynical and think life is just really hard and difficult, and it's hard to get ahead, right? So you can change that. You can change that. There are many tools that you can use. I've just discovered how to use essential oils for this purpose. And it doesn't require a lot of work or meditation, although I love meditation, I do it all the time, but it doesn't take that much time to change your state, and that's what I'm going to show you today. So let's go back to the basics of what essential oils are. Now, essential oils, they are extracts that come from plants. They're aromatic compounds, and they come from all different parts of the plants. They come from the leaves, they come from flowers, twigs, bark, roots, seeds. So basically, to give you an example, I have a bottle of peppermint essential oil right here. And when you get a peppermint leaf, right, and you rub that peppermint leaf between your fingers, you smell the peppermint. Now, what's happening is when you rub that mint leaf between your fingers, there are sacs that are on the leaf. That's the aromatic compounds. What you're doing is you're releasing those aromatic compounds that are on the leaf. And that's the essential oil. The smell of the peppermint is the essential oil. So we steam distill a lot of this stuff, the leaves and twigs and flowers, and that way we can extract the essential oil from them. Certain ones do require cold press, so like lemon, for example, this is a citrus oil. This is extracted through a cold press, and then we get the essential oil from the zest, which is the peel of the citrus fruit, not the fruit part. Okay, that's one difference there in distillation. So they are very powerful. So to give you an idea, 1 drop of this peppermint oil is equivalent to 28 cups of peppermint tea. That's a lot. So they're 50 to 70 times more powerful than the raw herbs alone. That is why they act so fast, and people will get results so quickly because of how potent these essential oils are. So if you're a new essential oil user, you don't need to be doing like 20 drops of essential oils at a time. You know, you start with 1 drop, 2 drop, and then over time you can work your way up. I personally use a lot of oils. I probably use about 20 to 30 drops of essential oils a day, but I've been using essential oils for a while. Some I take internally, some diffusing, some I apply topically. So speaking of that, we're going to go over how we use these essential oils. There are 3 main ways that we use them. We use them aromatically, and that's pretty simple. You can smell from the bottle, straight from the bottle itself, or you can take a drop right here in your hand, rub your hands together, and then you cup over your nose and inhale them. So nice. Okay, just be careful when you are rubbing your hands, cup over nose, and inhale, not to touch the eyes. So peppermint in the eyes can be a little stingy. So if that happens for whatever reason, you can get vegetable oil or coconut oil and goes around the eyes, but that's not something that happens all the time. That's just an extra precaution. So you can inhale from your hands, you can inhale from the bottle. We also have diffusers. I don't have one with me right now, but there are lots of essential oil diffusers where you put water in it to a specific line. It'll indicate right in the diffuser how much water to fill it with. And then we drop between 4 and 6 drops of essential oil into the diffuser. Sometimes I'll use a single essential oil in that diffuser, or I will combine 2 to 3, maybe 4 different essential oils in the diffuser together. So that is the aromatic use. The next use is topical. So if there is an area of concern where maybe you're experiencing some occasional pain, discomfort, we have wonderful blends. We're going to talk about the blend, the massage blend today. It's Aroma Touch. This is great for sore muscles. So you can put it topically wherever you have soreness. And also the way that I teach topically is a little bit unique. I do teach people how to use the essential oils along meridians and acupuncture points and chakras to create the most movement and change. Okay, and then the other one is internal. We consume the essential oils too. Sometimes I put them in my tea or water and I drink it. So if you are going to consume them via like in water in a cup, just make sure that your cups are either a coffee cup, ceramic coffee cups, or a glass cup or stainless steel. We do not want to use plastic bottles, plastic water bottles, because the citrus, if you use citrus oils like lemon and orange, it can break down the plastic. So use coffee cups, glass, or stainless steel when you're consuming. Also, you can put internally just under your tongue. Sometimes I put them on top of my tongue too, because I like to get the oils to the roof of my mouth and it goes to the brain very quickly. So I may touch on that today as well. So let's see. Next, let's talk about how essential oils have such a profound effect on our emotions. So when we use them in the diffuser, or we're just, inhaling them aromatically, know that when you inhale, it goes right to the brain, the limbic part of the brain, which is the emotional center of the brain. And then when it affects our mood in that way, it will also affect our chemistry and how hormones are released throughout the body. So very huge effect on the mood is through inhalation. I also, as I talked about topically, I put them on very important energy centers in the body where energy tends to pool and get stuck, and then when we use essential oils, it moves. So in Chinese medicine, we have this theory, it's really the underlying theory of the entire medicine, is that when there is free flow, so that's movement, there's rhythm and flow, right? When there's free flow, there is no pain. But when there is no free flow and there's stagnation and congestion, when there's no free flow, then there is pain. So also understand that our thoughts, right, where our focus goes, energy flows. So our thoughts profoundly affect our emotions, because when you think that there's no opportunities available for you, that can really lend to feelings of hopelessness, right? So when you feel, wow, like the universe has my back and I have everything that I need to accomplish all that I want. When you have that kind of belief system in the background, then you have hope, you have inspiration, you have enthusiasm and passion. So that's what's beautiful about these essential oils, is that you can use them also to change your thinking. And then as a result, it also changes your mood. So we're really addressing both our thoughts, our beliefs, as well as our emotions. Some of us have just trapped anger and resentment, and we just want to get rid of it, but we don't know how. Like, you really want to forgive somebody, but you don't know how. So that's where the essential oils can come in and fill in that gap. All right, so today you're going to learn how to use a handful of essential oils for these things. We're going to go over how to deal with overwhelm, how to experience more calmness, increase your clarity and focus, increasing your self-confidence, your sense of self-worth, and then improving your communication and self-expression, all with just a few oils. All right, so we are going to get started with the oils now. So the first one we're going to talk about is Melaleuca. This is tea tree essential oil. This comes from Australia. That is its native origin. And Melaleuca, hands down, is one of my most favorite essential oils. It is my go-to oil. If you ever get to meet me in person and I do sessions, I do energy work, as acupuncture is energy work. When I do sessions on people and I apply oils on them, you'll notice that the very first one that I use is Melaleuca. So this is how you can use Melaleuca. Now, Melaleuca comes in a couple of forms from doTERRA. There's, the regular bottles. This is the 15 ml, 15 milliliter bottle. And these bottles have 250 drops in them, so they last a long time. They also come in the format, some of the oils come in the format of a roller bottle. So this is Melaleuca, and there is a stainless steel roller bottle, and you just roll it on your body. And it is diluted. So this is called Touch. They have Melaleuca Touch. There's, I believe, 9 or 10 essential oils, the basic ones like peppermint and lavender and Melaleuca, that come in this format, and they are the Touch version. And so it's about 1/3 essential oil and 2/3 fractionated coconut oil. So this is diluted. And by the way, dilution does not reduce the efficacy of essential oils. If you have sensitive skin, totally dilute with the fractionated coconut oil, or you can even get empty roller bottles and put essential oils in it and fill the rest with fractionated coconut oil. And especially children, this is wonderful for kids and babies because it's already diluted and ready to go. Okay, so this is how we're going to use Melaleuca for the purpose of eliminating overwhelm. You're going to put a drop, either a drop or a roll, right? You can put a drop of Melaleuca with that regular bottle and then just rub your wrist together. So you get a drop on the inside of your wrist creases. And I also like this. I want you to add a drop or roll on the back of the neck. Oh, wonderful. Okay, so this is the purpose of Melaleuca. Melaleuca interrupts patterns. So if you're in a pattern of overwhelm and anxious and stressed out, and you need to change your state, like you need to get out of it because it is too much for you, because it's uncomfortable. It's very uncomfortable, and you just want some peace and you just want some perspective. So that's what Melaleuca does. It interrupts any kind of pattern that you are not happy with being in. Say you're dealing with panic, maybe panic is coming on. You can use Melaleuca to completely shift that state. And besides using it on the wrist and the back of the neck, if you are dealing with some panic or paranoia, also get some of that Melaleuca, and I would roll it down the chest, upper chest, and over the heart space. So the heart space is basically the sternum between the breast, or gentleman between the nipple line, right on the sternum, and that will help scratch that pattern. So think of like a DVD, right, or a CD that you play in a CD player or a DVD player. When there are scratches on that CD, when you go to play it, it doesn't play it anymore. It doesn't work anymore. So that's what Melaleuca does, because we tend to be used to a certain way of being. Like overwhelm, most people, they chronically feel overwhelmed, right? It's a pattern in their brain. It's the way their brain cells are wired, right? Your neurons are wired. It stays that way, and it gets stronger and stronger, and so you're just used to this state of panic and overwhelm. So in order to scratch that wiring and interrupt the pattern, that's what Melaleuca is doing. It's scratching it so you can stop it. It's similar to kind of like EFT, where some people do tapping and it interrupts the pattern. Same kind of thing, we're just using essential oils. So Melaleuca is incredibly detoxifying in general. So it is an oil that helps with energetic boundaries, and we're gonna go ahead and touch on that a little bit later. But what I love about Melaleuca is that it helps to start detaching away from us people and circumstances and thoughts and ideas, very toxic ideas that are not nurturing, not nourishing to you. So what I love about this is that it'll also give you perspective, because sometimes we tend to get ourselves involved in things or with people that we don't have any business getting involved with, and that's partly contributing to the overwhelm, because we're overcommitting ourselves and over engaging in too many people's lives where we really don't have any business in. So Melaleuca starts to detach away anything that where people are taking advantage of you. They're taking advantage of your time, your energy, your gifts and talents. So I love it. You'll start to see things kind of melt away and leave your area, your life, for the better. So maybe if you had a friend that would just call all the time and complain about things in their life, but they really don't want a solution, then that person may not be calling you as much anymore. So there's a lot of things happening on the energetic realm as you use Melaleuca. Now this is something you can use on a regular basis. It's not just like, okay, one time and we're all done. I use Melaleuca pretty much every single day, and I easily put this on my chest and my heart and my throat often, especially the back of the neck. So whenever you feel stressed out and overwhelmed, grab your Melaleuca and put it on. Okay, watch, it's so immediate. It's kind of crazy how quickly it works. Okay, So next, we are going to go over how to experience calm. And I value calmness because I strive to not be so reactive in my life. I like to look at situations, even difficulties and challenges and obstacles with a clear head so that I can make the best decisions on, how to have that difficult conversation or how to make a choice that is going to change the course of my life, making sure that I am making great decisions all the time, because when we are so frustrated and consumed by anger or gripped by fear, we don't make the best decisions. So I'm going to teach you 3 possibilities that I love to use that help me to experience more calmness. Now, the first one I'm going to talk about is the respiratory blend. Now, that is their common name. It is also known as breathe in doTERRA. So it'll say breathe at the top, and then it says respiratory blend right below it. So some of the books that you get, like there's a book called Modern Essentials book. It is available at aromatools.com. That's basically like a Bible for the essential oils. You can look up everything and anything. Like you can look up, dizziness or coughing, and then it'll show you what essential oils to use. And in that book, they're going to use not doTERRA's name, breathe, but they'll use the respiratory blend. And that's why I'm just putting it here on the slide for you. So this is a respiratory one. This is actually really good for your respiratory system, for breathing in general, creating open and clear and easy breathing when there's congestion in the nasal passages or if there's congestion in the chest. So I'm going to share with you some of the best, or actually all the essential oils in here, and then I'm going to kind of break it down and show you why this is great for calmness. So the first one is laurel leaf, there's eucalyptus, peppermint, melaleuca, lemon, cardamom, and ravensara leaf. So these oils in here are wonderful for the lungs. Now think about when you are feeling anxious, stressed out, what happens? How is your breathing? You'll notice your breathing becomes very shallow when you are stressed out and anxious and overwhelmed. So this is going to help improve your breathing, which then increases oxygen flow to your brain, and you will experience more calmness as a result. Body, mind, and spirit are completely connected. So if you address it from the body, like just improve your breathing when you're anxious, it's going to affect your mind and your spirit as well. All right. So let me kind of show you from the other angle, other than, improving your breathing to calm you down. That's very, very important. The thing there's melaleuca in here. Melaleuca, remember we talked about scratches patterns that we don't like. So even if you're experiencing a lot of sadness and a lot of grief and sadness in Chinese medicine gets trapped in the lungs. So by using essential oils that are beneficial for your respiratory system, it's going to help you break down and process all that grief and sadness. So you have also cardamom in here. I absolutely love cardamom. Cardamom is the oil of objectivity. It helps you to take a bird's eye view and get some perspective on your circumstance, your situation, so that you can see it from the bigger picture. Because many times we tend to interpret a particular situation as like, maybe this is really bad. It's really, really bad, and it's very difficult, and it's very hard, and I don't deserve it, and I shouldn't be going through this, right? Versus looking at it as, I can see the silver lining. I can see the beauty in this, and I can see the lesson that I'm meant to learn in it. So those are 2 completely different paradigms, which then lead to totally different emotions and results, right? It's not about what happens to us. It's about what we do with what happens to us. It's how we are responding to what happens to us. And cardamom brings this level of maturity to give you that perspective and that wisdom and that understanding. But cardamom is also good for the lungs and the digestive system. So in a way, the way I like to describe cardamom, so this is like energetic speak here, it helps to break down and digest and process, because think about what the digestive system does, right? It breaks down food into smaller particles so that you can absorb. So in a way, it digests and breaks down maybe the difficult situation that you're in, so it's digestible in bite-sized pieces so that you can really process it and break it down and understand it. Okay, so that's cardamom in there. You also have lemon. I'm going to go extensively on lemon pretty soon, but lemon is brings a lot of clarity and a lot of focus in general. And then you have peppermint. Peppermint provides this feeling like you're gliding through life rather than it being such a struggle. And then there's eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is the oil of wellness. It helps us to feel that we actually have everything we need in this current moment to do whatever we need to do, that we're not lacking anything, that we come from abundance, that we come from the infinite, and we have absolutely no lack whatsoever. You have all the gifts and talents you need. You have all the time you need. You have all the resources that you need to live your life to the fullest. Okay, so that's the respiratory blend, or breathe. The next blend I'm going to touch on is the grounding blend. So that's the common name. And then it is also known as balance by doTERRA. So it's balance and then grounding blend right below that. So this is a blend that includes a lot of tree essential oils. It has whole wood, it has spruce, frankincense, and then some flowers in here. There's a touch of blue tansy and some blue chamomile. So think about trees, right? Trees are very stable, they're very solid, they're rooted, they're grounded, and they're stable. And that's the beauty of what balance or grounding blend provides for you, is it provides this level of stability and security within yourself, that you are unshakable, that you are strong and confident in where you're at. So another beautiful benefit to this, oh, and by the way, I forgot to mention, I apologize, with the breathe, how can we use it? You can inhale from your hands, and you can also diffuse. I really love breathe inhaled. I find the greatest benefits with it, but you can also do it on your chest too, but definitely spend some time inhaling it. So the grounding blend you can use in a few ways. You can inhale also, whether from the bottle or from your hands or in the diffuser. Love it in the diffuser. You can apply it on the inside of your wrist creases here. I'm gonna give you another location. I love this too on the back of my neck and the tops of my shoulders. Now, balance is one of those oils that helps people who are extremely sensitive. So if you are a hypersensitive, that means that you're empathic. You can feel people when you're around them, and maybe sometimes you don't really like to be around a lot of people because it's too much stimulation for you, and you just get overstimulated, and you tend to just want to be a hermit or just be on your own more than be around people. So if that's you, because that used to be me, I've been able to basically tune down that all of that information overload. So rather than experiencing it like very loud blaring, like all the people around me, I've been able to put it to a very low, 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 so I could still hear them and feel people and not miss anything. But I've toned it down so that I am not overstimulated and overwhelmed by people around me, or not just people too. It can be places, it can be locations and circumstances that have a lot of history, or cities that, you know, there's a lot of stimulation, there's a lot of Wi-Fi going around. So if you're very sensitive in that way, the balance is going to be one of your best friends. Okay, awesome. So any kind of stress, anxiousness, overwhelm too, balance is one that you're going to want to consider. This is actually my second most favorite product from doTERRA is the Balance. First is Melaleuca, and second for me is the Balance. I did want to give you one more combination to experience calm, which it combines the Balance, the grounding blend, with a citrus, which is wild orange. I totally forgot to bring it today, but let's just pretend this is wild orange. So I combine the Balance and the wild orange together. Now you can diffuse them. I would say like maybe 3 drops of the Balance and 2 drops of the wild orange. It helps calm anxieties and bring a lot of homeostasis. In what wild orange does, with Balance together actually, is they help to balance out your sympathetic and parasympathetic nervous system. So a lot of us are operating too much in the sympathetic nervous system. That is your fight or flight. That is, running away from danger and constant high alert. Your heart is racing. When you are in sympathetic mode too much, you do not give your body the proper time and opportunity to repair and to restore and to heal itself. So it is a very important, if you feel like you're in constant like danger, alert, like, okay, what's next? And which is so easy to do in our society with so much easy access. Like people can contact you any minute, and say you're running a business or you're in customer service, everyone's situation is basically like an emergency. So you're just like, go, right? So if you find yourself there, then start incorporating the wild orange and the grounding blend. Even though when you use it, you'll still be able to address all the important things. This stuff isn't going to make you like tired and go take a nap. Unless your body really needs it, then maybe you should take a nap. But these essential oils won't do that. And so together, they smell divine. You can also apply them like on the back of your neck or on your spine or inside of the wrist creases too. Another thing, one note, I want to make a side note about citrus oils, because wild orange is citrus. We have other citrus like lime, lemon, grapefruit, there's bergamot. So we've got other citrus oils. When you use them topically, like on your skin, you do not want to go out in the sun and sunbathe or go into a tanning bed, because when you put citrus on top, then it can darken your skin, or some people could even burn. So we don't want you to do that. If you know you're going to be out in the sun, either plan on diffusing it that day, or you can put it on places like the bottoms of your feet. Okay, the bottoms of the feet. If you don't want to put any essential oils up here, and maybe in your work area you can't have a lot of smells, then a very simple way to use these essential oils is just to apply them on the bottoms of your feet, and then you can put on your socks and your shoes, and you're good to go. It's not gonna, and not everyone's gonna be able to smell it. And on our skin, it lasts about 10 minutes too, so it doesn't last forever. More so like if it gets on your clothes or in your hair, you might smell the essential oils a little bit longer. I do want to talk about wild orange and Balance for children. I absolutely love this combination for children. So wild orange for adults has a tendency to get us a bit energized too. Not like hyper, but just ability to be present and more alert and focused. Whereas with children, it tends to calm children down. So the grounding blend with the wild orange is actually a great combination for kids if they need some help with calming down, as well as helping them to fall asleep at night. Okay? Awesome. All right, so those are some examples for experiencing calmness. Let's talk about clarity and focus. So we're going to talk about lemon, and then lemon and peppermint. Lemon, this is such a clean smell, and it's very affordable. Like this is about 4 cents a drop. So this big bottle of lemon here is $10, and there's 250 drops in here. So I love just simple, straight, plain lemon in the diffuser. This is the oil of clarity and focus. It is wonderful for clearing mental clutter and confusion too. So if you've got too many things coming at you, it will help in a way like reorganize and prioritize what you need to focus on. So if you're having trouble with productivity, say things are just taking you too long to get done, or do you have that constant running to-do list that never seems to go away, but you just keep piling on more and more, and maybe you just get done very few items on there. So if you want to power through your to-do list and get things done quickly, let's say something that would normally take you 6 hours to accomplish, wouldn't you want to accomplish it in 3 hours instead? And that is the power of just plain lemon essential oil. So it will get you to move. It will give you the clarity. You will start to see like what are A task priorities, what are B task priorities, and which ones are C. And maybe some of these things you just need to delegate out or totally cross off. It's just not that important. So if you want a little extra punch, this is a blend that I created. It's called Be Productive, and you can follow me on Instagram, and it's on Instagram as well. It's basically 3 drops of Douglas fir. And so that's an extra oil, the different one that's not in our presentation, but this is extra credit for you. So it's 3 drops of Douglas fir and 2 drops of lemon. So it basically takes, what I explained to you with the lemon, just up 10 notches. If productivity is very important to you, then definitely get that Douglas fir, and it smells so divine as well. Okay. All right, so then the other one that I love too that you can combine is lemon and peppermint. So peppermint, it's a very aromatic essential oil. It's very opening. It opens the brain too. It clears the senses. And that's a Chinese medical term, by the way. And you can combine these as well to increase your energy. A lot of people use peppermint for energy too. They'll put it like on the back of the neck or even the top of the head a drop, or pop it in their mouth. Let me tell you, it's kind of hard to be tired when you use peppermint, because when you put it on your skin, it kind of tingles, it wakes you up. So peppermint's also very good for, let's say you're driving late at night and you need to stay awake, then use some peppermint. It'll keep you awake. If you're working on a project and you need to be attentive, you need focus, you need creative energy flowing through you, then this is a great little combination, that lemon and that peppermint together. I would do probably like a 50-50 mixture. So 3 drops peppermint, 3 drops of lemon in your diffuser. Lovely. Okay, so that's your clarity and focus. Now let's talk about how to increase your confidence. So we are going to use wild orange and frankincense. You can diffuse these both, so 50-50, so 3 wild orange, 3 frankincense. Or another way to do it, it could be and or, whichever one, you can put it on your solar plexus, just 1 drop each, and that's the core of your belly. Now the core is basically about maybe 2 to 3 inches above your belly button, depending on how tall your torso is. Excuse me. So wild orange increases belief in the self and self-acceptance. Frankincense increases your sense of self-worth. And together they increase confidence and certainty, which makes decision-making easier, yes? It's people who have that certainty and that clarity and that confidence that they can make decisions quickly and trust in their decision-making ability. So wild orange is the oil of abundance. And your solar plexus right here, the core of your belly, this is all about your self-esteem, your sense of self-worth, your sense of like accepting and loving all of who you are, right? And appreciating who you are. And so wild orange and frankincense is just going to enhance that. Wild orange shows us that we are infinite. Same with frankincense too. Together, they show us that we are coming from an infinite place and that we are divine. And you start to see your beauty and how majestic you are. You look in the mirror rather than beating yourself up and saying, oh my goodness, I'm so fat, I'm so ugly. Look at this pimple, and look at that, you know, and it's so easy for us ladies to just beat ourselves up. Instead, after you put that on, you're going to start noticing, my goodness, I really have great hair. My face is glowing. You can really see my spirit through my eyes. Like, I'm so present. So you'll start noticing more of your beauty as you use these essential oils rather than just tearing yourself down. Because tearing yourself down, that's definitely not serving you. And it actually is a very low frequency, and other people are affected too. So when you love yourself and nourish yourself and accept yourself and take care of yourself, now you can be that example, and then you can teach others to do the same and uplift others. So be that inspiration for the people around you. Now, this is something you can do every single day. You can do wild orange and frankincense every day for maybe like a couple of weeks if you need to build up your confidence and your sense of self-worth. Okay? Or you can just put it in the diffuser. Either way, it works great. All right. Next, let's talk about improving your communication and self-expression. To me, this is one of the most important skills that you can develop, is the art of communication, the art of not just speaking, but also listening. And we're going to talk about how lavender does that. So lavender, we would put on your heart as well as your throat. So here's a bottle of lavender. I'll just put some on for myself too. Oh, it's wonderful. So this is actually the essential oil of communication. This helps you to speak the words that the people need to hear. So when I say improves your listening skills, oh, I really mean it. So when you put we'll put lavender on your throat and your heart, and say you're talking to somebody, you're going to pick up on their nuances, like on the subtleties of what they're saying. Not just the words that they're saying, but the spirit behind the words. This can really help you increase your empathy as well, so that you can connect deeply with the people you are speaking to. So that when a person is engaging with you, they're going to feel like they were really heard. Like, you know, I really feel like you get me. And that is such a beautiful experience to have, is to deepen all of your interactions with the people you deal with every single day, whether it's your family or whether it's in your workplace, whether it's in your church community. You just want to have that ability to have deep heart-to-heart connections. So because you are listening to them better, and by the way, this is not something that you're like straining yourself to be a great listener. All you do is just put the essential oils on these locations, and it does the work for you. So a lot of this stuff is happening in the spirit level, kind of like unconscious level too. And you may be conscious of it as well, but you're going to just have these intuitive thoughts and feelings that just come up as you're interacting with someone after you put the lavender on, so that when you do speak words to them, or share stories, or give advice, or, you know, just hang out, when you do speak words to them, that you are speaking the words in which they really understand you, and they feel understood too. So, you know, everyone has a different language. Everyone has different love language. I'm sure some of you have heard of the book, 5 Love Languages. So that when you're speaking to them, you're going to be speaking in their love language. And so they are going to feel so appreciated by you and loved by you and safe around you and trust you, because you deeply understand what they're going through. So if you have to have difficult conversations, critical conversations, right? Maybe it's with a family member, with your kids, or maybe your boss and at work. Before you do that, put that lavender on, and it will help you to express whatever you need to express, not in this like reactive mode, but a heart-to-heart space, okay? All right, and then the other one, just to enhance this all, this is frankincense. This is the king of oils. This is one of the more precious essential oils. You're gonna take a drop, and then you're gonna put it on the top of the head. So this is the oil of truth. And what I love about this is it helps you to express from your authentic self, rather than any falsehoods that you have developed. You know, over time in our life, like, we get advice from so many people, from, you know, parents and friends and people who are coaches, whoever has inspired us. And sometimes they have said things about us that aren't really true, and then we kind of take on that identity. Just a silly example was I grew up with my mother being very shy around strangers and people, and then I kind of adopted that as a child. I was really shy, but then as I started using essential oils, I became more and more in line with who I am, like my true nature. And I am so not a shy person. I'm extremely opinionated, to the point where, you know, I offend people once in a while. And, and so what I love about frankincense is it helps to uncover and just shed those layers that aren't really you, that you thought were you know, that your ego has taken on as, oh, I'm a person that doesn't like to travel. That was one that I took on from my mother as well. But in reality, I love to travel. And so once I realized this, now I have a life where I travel about 10 days a month. Whereas before, I would never go anywhere in 2 to 3 years. So it's just been amazing to see who I am in this journey, and to own it and to stand in it. And that's the beauty of frankincense. That's what frankincense can give to you. Okay? All right. So I wanted to give a couple of bonus tips. I hope you guys are getting so much out of this webinar so far. We're going to just 2 bonus tips, and then that's it, and we're going to wrap it up. So bonus tip number 1, I want to teach you how to build boundaries. Now, this is something that is going to require an ongoing application. And we're going to use 2 essential oils. One is Melaleuca. Most likely you'll probably have, you know, the bottle form versus the touch form, but either one will work. You would take 1 drop each of the Melaleuca, and then 1 drop of this blend. It's called the Protective Blend. That's the common name, but then doTERRA's name, it's called On Guard. So On Guard, Protective Blend, same thing. So you take a drop of Melaleuca, you take a drop of the On Guard or Protective Blend, and you're going to put that on your solar plexus. And this bonus tip number 1, I'm going to say, especially after, you know, using Melaleuca, like I taught you earlier in the webinar about how to interrupt patterns and break through overwhelm and stress, then this is what you want to do ongoing. So you do Melaleuca and the On Guard on the solar plexus. That's the core of your belly. Remember, it's a couple of inches above your belly button. It's basically when you do abdominal crunches, where you feel that that right in the middle, your core, that's where you're going to put these essential oils on there. Now, what these 2 oils are going to do, the oil and the blend, it's going to build up your boundaries, your energetic boundaries. Now, that is very important because we can easily fill up our space, our auric field, with all kinds of things from people and places that are just noisy and just cluttered, and we don't need that. And so when so many people are pulling at us in that way, people who aren't really supportive or loving, by the way, this does not build boundaries against people who love you, who support you, who are cheering for you, who want to love on you and serve you. It doesn't keep those out. What it does is it keeps out the parasites, people who are negative influence for you, the people who are just wanting to use you and tear you down and criticize and judge you without love behind it, right? So that's what the Melaleuca and the On Guard is going to do, is to help build boundaries so that you have none of that negativity and pessimism coming in, crushing your dreams. But instead, now when you keep those out, now you can have more people coming in who do love you unconditionally and who do support you and who are cheering for you and who just want to serve you too. Okay? So boundaries does not mean it blocks everybody out. It just blocks out the negativity because you deserve better. So what you're going to do is put it every day in the morning. I recommend it being by your nightstand or just first thing, even before you check your phone, you know, your messages and all that, before it's specifically before you walk outside of your house or your apartment or condo, wherever you're living in, before you walk out and interact with society, for sure put that Melaleuca and the On Guard first before you start your day. So do it first thing when you wake up. Okay, make it a habit, and you do it for a few weeks, and then every day that you put it on, like let's say in the beginning your boundaries will be like up to here, then it's going to go out another foot, and then another foot, and another foot, and another like 100 feet. It just depends on you. So you don't have to think about it. You don't even have to do a visualization. You can if you want to, but when you put it on here, it's just going to take care of it in and of itself, and it'll go out as far as you need. So just do it for the 3 weeks, and your boundaries will build out as far as they need. Some people are good with 10 feet. Some people need 100 miles. It just depends on how sensitive you are. If, like, for example, if you have a friend on the other side of the country or the other side of the world, and you know there's something going on with them, and then you get a call from them, and they're like, oh, you wouldn't believe what happened, and then you knew, like you had that gut feeling, right? Those are hypersensitive. So those kind of people need boundaries that go out very, very far. Again, you don't need to like know how much it needs to go out. By just using the Melaleuca and the On Guard every day for 3 weeks, it'll grow as far as you need it. But please do not miss a day, okay? If you miss a day, you may have to get some Melaleuca on your spine, just again, one more time, because you'll feel it. You'll feel it when your boundaries are compromised. Just with Melaleuca on your spine, and then continue again with the Melaleuca and On Guard and finish it up, okay? All right, awesome. And then the last bonus tip number 2. This one is for emotional exhaustion. So let's say you interact with a lot of people in the course of your day because you're in a field of work where you're talking to a lot of people. Maybe it's customer service. You're talking to a lot of people. You're a receptionist. You're a doctor. You're a nurse. And you are constantly interacting with people all day long. Well, what happens when we interact with people, whether it's a phone call or whether it's in person or whether it's touch, you're a massage therapist and you're touching people all day, there's definitely an exchange of energy. So boundaries is one thing, and that's why we did that in bonus tip number 1. Boundaries is very important. It'll help prevent you from taking in so much, right? It'll help you from taking in so much from other people. But also the massage blend, this is called Aroma Touch, the Aroma Touch blend right here, massage blend. This is one of my favorite ones that I use. Like, let's say I have a very difficult day and a lot of heavy circumstances, people sharing stories of, you know, losing their job or losing a loved one. And it was just very heavy conversations, right? And then you come home after that and you feel exhausted. You feel the weight of it. And it's not like you want to take it all on, but you know, you did. And so in order to clear out the interactions from your day, the exchanges that you've had from people, is I'll use this massage blend. The reason why I use this is because I'm pulling the marjoram and the cypress in here. And it has multiple oils. It has cypress, peppermint, marjoram, basil, grapefruit, and lavender. So it has a lot of essential oils, but here I'm pulling the peppermint and the cypress and the marjoram. And what those do, they move chi very well, and it clears out those residual energies that you have with people, so that you can come home after, you know, talking to 10 clients, for example, or the patients that you've worked with, if you're a nurse, that you can not feel like you need to go crash in bed or on the couch, but then now you come home and you can just take care of whatever you need to take care of with all the energy that you need. Because some of us, you know, it's not like we're doing physical labor, but we come home and we're just we're emotionally exhausted. And so we physically feel like we can't move forward and do anything. So that's where aroma touch or massage blend comes in. So here's some ways that you can use it. You can use it on the heart. You can do on the upper chest, okay? And also another location is along the lumbar spine. The reason why I chose that is because there is basil in here and there's lavender in here. And these are also nourishing, restorative essential oils. And we want to help restore the kidneys. So the basil is actually really good for the kidneys. And that's why I want it on the lumbar spine. It's great for exhaustion, even adrenal exhaustion. So wonderful place to also put on the lumbar spine. Okay? Amazing. All right. Well, thank you so much for your time. I hope that you loved this tutorial in showing you how to use some common essential oils for your benefit, for you to feel fabulous as much as you want to be. So understand that you're never a victim to your thoughts or your emotional state. Never, never, never. You can shift and change that around. Of course, we're all going to have some difficult days. Now, yes, I'll allow myself to wallow for, a few hours, maybe a day, but I don't go beyond a day. And if I'm done wallowing in my misery, because, we all got to do that once in a while, then I go ahead and slap those oils on, put it on where I need to, get the diffuser going, and boom, 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 I am ready to go. So what we taught today is still just the tip of the iceberg. There's definitely more that you can learn with the essential oils. However, what you learned today will carry you so far. And I would love to help you get the best essential oils that you need to reach your goals. So if you found this webinar beneficial for you, then I want to offer a little something special. I'm going to be offering a free 15-minute consultation on how to feel more fabulous. So in that consultation, you will get basically a rundown of first find out what your health goals are, and then what essential oils and products that would best serve your needs, and then also a protocol on what to do in the morning, what to do in the evening. It just depends on your circumstances, but what would be the best regimen for you? Maybe we would have to apply oils once a day or twice a day, or these would be the best diffuser blends for the daytime, or these are the best for the nighttime. So you'll get a whole outline of what to do with the essential oils that you do receive. Okay? All right. So if you would like to book your free Feel More Fabulous consultation, please just click on the button below this video, and it'll take you to my calendar so that you can pick a time that works for your schedule. And once that has been confirmed, your consultation, then you will end up filling out a short questionnaire. So it helps me to get a better feel of what you're going through before we speak, and we can use our 15 minutes in the best way. I look forward to speaking with you and getting to know you and helping you figure out what essential oils you need, and so that you can live your life by design rather than by default, and create the life you absolutely want. I love you so much. Thank you so much for being with me. Have a wonderful day. Okay.